El Amor de Patricia is such a great place, but there is so much more that happens beyond just the walls of the orphanage, right?
Yes, we have stepped out and created some community outreach initiatives. One of them is a family revitalization project. We started to meet some different families in Guatemala and realized we could possibly help them. For example, one family, they live in a very poor area, the edge of Guatemala City. A little boy named Luis, he's 5 years old, wasn't going to be able to go to school. We talked with the family and we figured out how we could possibly help them get Luis to school. And his mother was so grateful and so exuberant about her commitment to making sure he gets there. And she gets him up every morning, very early. He's clean and well-dressed and in his uniform, and she walks him a very long way to school. It's a long journey every single day. And she gets him to school on time.
Él es un niño muy amoroso, muy inteligente y sueña mucho. Y sueña que su carrera sea de alguien que le pueda enseñar a hablar a otras personas.
You know, for a kid who lives in such a poverty-stricken area, to get a good education like this will be life-altering for him and probably his family. So with this little boy, we have committed to his tuition and all his educational needs, as long as the mom is committed to getting him to school every single day. That is what we expect from her. If she can do that, we will continue to make sure he's in school.
Yo me siento feliz y le doy gracias a Dios porque estas personas existen ahora en mi vida.
Another family in our program I met several years ago, and when I met them, they lived in one little room, and the little boy was in school, but he was in school for 3 years and didn't even know the alphabet. And they just were a family that needed a lot of guidance. And I learned that the mother had, her life was filled with a lot of abuse and had no education whatsoever. And she has tried to give a life to her kids, and it was just really hard. So with her, we started at the very basics and teach the mom how important it is to get educated and what that looks like. That we need to keep the uniforms clean, and we need to make sure they go to bed by a certain time, that they get up and they get to school every day. And that finally happened when we kind of turned it into a job for her. And we said, okay, we're gonna meet her right here and say, you get the little girl to school every single day, and at the end of the week, we'll give you a food basket and a couple dollars for herself. And that started to get that child to school every day. On top of that, we found a night school for the boy who's now 14 and has not had education. And so we got him enrolled in a night school, and the same holds true, that he is to go to school every day. So first thing in the morning, Mario gets up and he gets his little sister up and he walks her to school. And then he goes to school in the afternoons, late afternoons, and comes home in the evening, and they do it all again. Their mom has gotten good about valuing education, and I had a long talk with her about how Jessie getting an education will not only help Jessie's future, but her future. And it took her a while to understand how important that is. And so now she comes over to the orphanage and helps make tortillas. So we're starting to give her more responsibility. She feels more proud of it, and now she's very committed to getting her kids to school.
Me siento feliz porque ellos están estudiando y yo no quiero que ellos van a ser como yo no estudié todo eso, pero yo quiero ellos que estudien y más después tal vez consigan un trabajo mejor, porque no van a sufrir más después como yo lo estoy sufriendo ahora.
Another family we help is our cook, Wendy. Wendy is the heart and soul of Amor to Patricia, and she has a heart of gold. She loves the children.
Wendy has 2 children of her own that accompany her here at the Hogad, and she is someone who wants her children and wants all of her children here to reach their potential.
Pues estos niños me han robado el corazón, ¿verdad? Y aparte de ser niños de la casa, son míos, porque me han llenado el corazón.
Wendy is a person who has a remarkable capacity to give. A little bit of her story is that about 3 years ago, her husband left the family, and she was determined to make a go of it with her 2 girls. About 4 months after that happened is when she had the chance to come and work here at Amor de Patricia. As the divorce proceedings have become finalized, she was adamant about keeping the family home, and she came to me several months ago with a dream for building a better home for her girls.
Wendy owns a little piece of land with a little tin house on it.
She has flowers all over the place. She nurtures the plants. But you have to walk down a series of steps, which in the rainy season is not very stable, I should say.
It's a little 2-room place, and the kitchen has a mud floor, and when it rains, it's all mud. And you have to go outside and up the stairs to a little latrine, and she has a pilar up there, which is a big sink. And it's not a very stable, sturdy house, so we really want to help her get the house she dreams of.
Para mí, realizar este sueño de la casa de mis hijas sería un regalo muy maravilloso que yo les dejaría a ellas, porque es algo que es inalcanzable, pero a la vez es alcanzable, ¿verdad? Y yo espero en Dios de realizar este sueño para ellas, porque ellas son todo para mí, y ya que ellas desean esto, es como un anhelo, ¿verdad?
Seems like such a simple dream in so many ways, but I mean, to her, it means the world.
Absolutely, because in her life and in her reality, it just was not an option. And when we started our family revitalization project, her desire for a house was one of the first projects we discussed because she's so deserving of that house.
Does the problem ever just seem so big, or is it good making that small difference and just kind of keeping it growing?
Sometimes it seems really big, and sometimes I grow weary, but I would never give it up.
So it's not just about the orphanage.
If we make a difference in as many lives as we can down there, it will all be worth it. And it's just the right thing to do.